Alright lads, welcome back to my channel. If you have been here before, hello, and if you are new, hello. The second time had more enthusiasm. I hope you guys are doing great, and if not, then at least you weren't a Ted Bundy victim, so is it really that bad? This video today is just a quick little one about something that happened this weekend. Very special event. It was, of course, the 39th birthday of living legend Mindy. Happy birthday, Mindy. I want to be your friend and Ryan was never good enough for Kelly. Other bollocks that happened this weekend included VidCon / TanaCon. If for some reason you're not familiar with what these ego fests really are, this is a quick rundown. VidCon, which is short for Video Convention maybe, is maybe a 10-year-old convention that is held in Anaheim of California. Held by the creators and for the creators and other buzzwords, and I think it was made by John and Hank Green. Comic-Con is for superheroes and sci-fi and horror TV and other shit. VidCon is kind of like that for beauty gurus and bloggers and YouTubers, and there's panels and there's interviews and Q&As, but no one really dresses up as their favourite YouTuber because that'd be a bit weird. VidCon is arguably the biggest of its kind in our community. I think 25 to 30,000 people were booked in 2018 to attend. And so every hotel, every convention centre for after parties, etc. is booked out for miles in Anaheim. Moving on to TanaCon, the titular self-titled and introductory convention by YouTube extraordinaire Tana Mongeau. You may know her from previous escapades such as saying the N-word, getting banged with a toothbrush, and being really good gal pals with Bella Thorgy. Oh Jesus, gross. You know Bella. Red hair, crazy eyeshadow, reminds you of Joseph Fritzl's daughter when she first escaped the basement. That's right, looks like she needs a shower. Nice girls, I imagine, but they're just the kind of girls you want to be a bartender, not your mum. In 2017, Tana and the CEO at the time of VidCon got in a right Betty Robble's husband over an issue of status. At VidCon, the way of separating the influencers and the creators and the viewers and the subscribers are by putting them in two separate lines, giving them identification numbers on their wrists. No, I'm joking, they get badges put around their necks and the VIP ones are gold. If you're standard and a regular creator, then you get a purple one. This is mine from 2016, and this is Heath Assar's, and it says Daddy. Love you, Heath. If you're standard or you're a watcher, you get varying degrees of that purple one. If you think this sounds a little bit like Auschwitz, then you would be wrong. Because VidCon is not separated by tents or something, it's separated by floors. Normal people, viewers and shit are on the bottom floor, and then YouTubers and industry, I think, middle floor, and then you've got VIP feature creators on the top floor of VidCon. And plus it can't be Nazi orientated or anything like that because PewDiePie rarely attends. Tana and CEO were having a labia majora measuring contest, and it resulted in Tana eventually planning her own convention to rival VidCon at the same time, in the same area. Alright, hence the birth of TanaCon, presented by Tana and Good Times Live. Good Times Live, by the looks of things, are some kind of events management planning bullshit company or something fun. They look like they do fuck all other than mess things up, to be fair. Loads of big names like Shane Dawson were scheduled to appear, and with that and the promise of free tickets and the promise of people being able to just roll through from VidCon, the event quickly blew up. Did I mention that TanaCon was at the same time as VidCon? The exact same time, because it was. And did I mention that TanaCon was held in a shitty ballroom that could have, like, what, 1,000 people in max? Because it was. Remember, 30,000 people were expected to attend VidCon and flood Anaheim, so TanaCon was built on the idea that all these customers that are already in Anaheim and all these fans that already love YouTubers can go to VidCon and then just roll over to TanaCon for free. Remember, the ballroom can fit 1,000 people. Alright, okay, this is gonna go really well. You could attend for free, or you could pay like $25 for a featured fucking creator pass, which is like their version of VIP. You get fast pass, you get to meet a creator or some shit, and you get a goodie bag, which is worth nothing. You got a condom, you got a phone accessory, and you got some stickers in there. Well, great. I reckon there's probably like 100 free tickets that were sold and the rest were priced, and that would be to pay for the venue and security, because there are your two main outgoings, venue and security. Cut to Saturday morning, the first real day of the conventions. VidCon is unfazed, running smoothly, pretty slick. TanaCon, however, is a shit show. Kids are queuing for hours, up to 7 hours I saw on Twitter, without sunscreen, water, food, because they weren't advised to do so, because they thought it would be pretty slick because they've already paid for a fucking ticket. And when you did get in, it was a hallway. The goodie bag, like I said, was absolutely shit. There was no entertainment or anything cracking, no creators walking around. There was a 10-minute wedding service. The goodie bag's a joke in it, $100 apparently that's worth or something. It's a phone accessory, some stickers and a condom. Your fans are literally 14, like fair enough, woo, safe sex, good on your goddamn, but what's the point? Like, you joking? Like, that's fucking grim, mate. Can't take people's money in real life. Like, you can take their views and their time and like shit like that and waste much of their time on their content, but you can't really take people's like hard-earned money on an event that's not actually thought through. That's pretty rude. So this apparent 15,000 people extra have turned up outside from VidCon, even though by the looks of things it doesn't look like 15,000 people, but I didn't count them all individually, so I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that doesn't look like 15,000 people. To my eyes, it looks more like 5,000 people maximum to my eyes, and I wear contact lenses, so call me out on it all you fucking want. Fire marshal walked up to Tana and was like, "Excuse me, miss lady who has been banged by a toothbrush. Unfortunately, this ballroom is not meant for conventions. It's meant for bar mitzvahs and sweet 16s and office parties. So unfortunately, your rent is fucking cancelled." But then the event was back on because being over capacity would never stop TanaCon. But then it was cancelled again, after being rearranged, divorced, beheaded, survived, and then James Charles tweeted about Tana saying they weren't friends anymore. It was well dramatic. He said he was gonna stuff a fluffy brush down her throat and suffocate her, and then Shane Dawson was offering everyone refunds. It was a wild day on Twitter, if I'm completely honest. Truly, either watch Felix's video on the situation, or wait for Shane's, or do your own research, live your Lana Winter's dream and just search TanaCon in Twitter or something. Why do I think it flopped? Well, I think Tana is a promiser, and I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think if you are a promiser, that means someone who just promises shit all the time, and they don't have the clit to back it up. That sounds disgusting, but I don't want to say balls because that's genderist. So Tana, if you're watching this, don't promise shit if you don't have the clit to back it up. You're gonna have this history of repetition of disappointing the people who look forward to what you do the most. And it's all well and good if you're doing it online, like, yeah, new video every day this week or some shit, and you don't post. That's fair enough. But when you're asking people to part with their money, when it's a fiscal issue, you're going to have problems, because it doesn't only make you a promiser who hasn't got the clear, it makes you a cunt who takes people's money and doesn't deliver. Also, bitterness is not a good building block. Ask the Egyptians. They used sand and probably maybe slavery, but they definitely didn't do it in a month. They did not build those pyramids out of bitterness because some other company made a pyramid. Imagine TanaCon if it was planned, if you did it in 3-4 months time and it was scaled down and you charge people a reason. It could have been really good, and I think Tana just did herself a disservice. Absolutely. A lot of people will say, well, Tana's only young and it's her first convention. I don't give a fucking shit. If you're asking people for money, you deliver. What would I have done differently? If I was planning the convention, alright. If I was going to plan a convention, say London, say 5,000 people. Alright, let's do the maths. Okay, so a venue in London, 5,000 people, say maximum capacity. The print works or something like that. £30,000, say, that's a good guesstimate. And one security guard for every 100 people. £10 an hour for 10 hours, 2 days, 20 hours. £10,000 for 50 security team, a whole team of fucking security for 2 days. Renting of lighting, stage, all that shit, £10,000. Total cost £50,000 for 5,000 people. 500 spaces, say, for example, taken up by vendors, security and creators. 4,500 tickets to sell to cover the cost of 50,000. That, I'm stalling because I can't do the maths in my head, is £11.1 per ticket if you want to cover the exact costs, and you can fact check me, but I think I'm right. Make that £15 a ticket, there's your profit and run, darling, and you've paid for the whole event and it's only £15 a head. That's what I would do if it was different. I would make the goodie bags, I would have a fucking YouTuber book in there, I would have a signed poster and all of that with a feature creator that you wanted to meet. It could have been good, I don't know, it was just a shit, wasn't it? Like, TanaCon just flopped, and I'm sorry, and I know Tana's not a bad person. I even DM'd her, like, dude, I hope this blows over quickly. When the full extent of it all came out on Twitter, I was like, shit, man, people have paid a lot of money and a lot of expectations for this. It's not just the ticket price or the free ticket price, whatever. It's the whole setting yourself up for a day of meeting your friends, having fun, doing all this, and psyching yourself up for meeting these people that you want to meet and book enough time of work, convincing your parents that it makes you look like an arsehole. And Tana, mate, stop promising shit that you can't deliver on because you haven't got the click. I know there's going to be a lot of excuses like, oh, she was young, or it was short notice, but I mean, her being young isn't her fault, but being short notice, that's entirely, that whole MO was to get back at VidCon, so it had to be on that weekend. If you're going to do it again, Tana, my advice would be maybe do it for you or the viewers, and don't do it for that to VidCon. That's where the event went wrong, is because it was rushed because of that exact reason. If it was built out of love and for the viewers, and it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. She could have done it in September. She could have done the end of August, you know? But to be fair, the Good Times Live team look fucking bollocks. So it could be all of their fault and nothing to do with Tana. But when you slap your name on something and you promote the living shit out of it, when it fucks up, it's going to be on your knees. I'm sorry, knees? It's going to be on your on your feet, your shoulders, mate. What Tana created was an unorganised burden for the attendees, whether it be subscribers, viewers, or the creators, or the people who bought stalls or sponsored the event. It's just so unprofessional and it's an embarrassment, really. So if she could do better, that'd be great. I'm sure Shane is going to grill her and tell her where she went wrong, and I'm sure in 3-4 years time Tana will go, oh, you know what, I really did not know everything when I was 19, did I? I really should not have tried to plan a convention in 4 weeks. That was fucking idiotic. And I'd be maybe do it for you or the viewers, and don't do it for that to VidCon. That's where the event went wrong, is because it was rushed because of that exact reason. If it was built out of love and for the viewers, and it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. She could have done it in September. She could have done the end of August, you know? But to be fair, the Good Times Live team look fucking bollocks. So it could be all of their fault and nothing to do with Tana. But when you slap your name on something and you promote the living shit out of it, when it fucks up, it's going to be on your knees. I'm sorry, knees? It's going to be on your on your feet, your shoulders, mate. What Tana created was an unorganised burden for the attendees, whether it be subscribers, viewers, or the creators, or the people who bought